Yes, indeed. Well, I was cheering like hell for you last night, Coach. You just don't know.
Yeah.
I said, I was just cheering for you, man, because I saw you with Tech. We'll talk about this in an interview, but at Tech, I know your teams are kind of turn a corner there that night, and then COVID hit you again, and then I was like, man, not again. But to see your guys, man, persevere turning around, man, I'm so proud of your team, man. And I feel like you got that good GSU Sports Arena karma this year, man, to help you guys as well, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, I'm proud. I'm proud of those guys, man. I really am, happy for them. So we want the good thing about the way our tournament is scheduled on the calendar, because sometimes you play, some people just starting their conference tournament like this week, and you could be playing in your championship like Saturday or Sunday, and then it's such a quick turnaround for the tournament that even though you enjoy the win, you don't really get to relish in it that much, So I like the fact that we get to enjoy it this week, get some time off, get some guys healthy and really take it in, and then turn the page and get back in the gym and work a little bit and get back into a little bit of a routine of, what got us there, and go into the tournament with an expectation of winning.
No doubt. And Coach, you kind of mentioned it, rest versus rust. So getting guys healthy is more going to be like more of a guys doing drills on their own, shooting on their own. You give them tell them, hey, get off your feet for a couple of days. And so how do you kind of balance that rest v rust? Because I know that's kind of thing you want to stay sharp. You never know. Now put you in that play-in game on Tuesday night because of the conference. So how do you kind of gauge that going for the rest of this week here?
Well, it's different from team to team, but we got a couple of key guys that are dealing with some nagging stuff. So, it just so happens LEL and Kane, we got some guys who need a few days to recover and to reset and to rest their bodies and get some treatment and get in the cold tub and just unwind a little bit, and then we can pick our spots, but we'll still have 2 or 3 solid days to prepare after the selection show. So, listen, we're playing well, so I'm not really worried about rust. I want these guys to enjoy this. They've earned the right to be there. They've won 10 games in a row. So we're gonna go in and play with confidence. I'm pretty confident about that myself.
Now, Coach, I saw you in Mercer down there. I saw you at Georgia Tech, and you guys kind of trying to find your way. And the game at Tech was a tough one. You all could have won that game. Some bunnies here and there, some free throws, tough overtime loss. But you said in the press conference that you saw some things that night. You felt that you guys are turn the corner that night. And for you, in your mind, what was a turning point after that Tech game to get you guys spurred on the streak that you're on, the dance you're in, the big dance that once again represent the Panthers for you guys, man?
Well, there was a couple of things, not a moment. There's a story about the bus breaking down and the guy picking us up. It was a great story because it helped me in a lot of ways develop some clarity on how I wanted to move forward with the team. But I think there's 2 things in particular. Number one was Kane Williams stepping into the role of leader of the team. His disposition, because that's what we lack. Any good team is going to be player led. The really good teams, and we lack that. Even though we had older guys, we didn't have a great deal of leadership. And Kane acknowledged that we didn't have that, first of all, and then he stepped into it. And then once he stepped into it, it was easy. It was easier for him to get LEL to join with him on that. LEL is not as good a communicator as Kane, but he's such an inspirational force on our team. And then the other seniors got with those guys. So that was number one, Kane. And then just in general, JR, the fact that we didn't allow the adversity to break us. We didn't quit. So it wasn't like a moment where we could say, well, here's the moment that things changed, but it was more the fact that we stayed together and we kept working. Because when you're struggling, listen, when you come to practice every day, the routine, everything, it ain't that much fun when you're winning.
Most definitely.
But when you're losing, you're really trying to figure out why the hell we doing this. It just is not enjoyable. And that's where that player leadership comes into play. And Kane helped us persevere. So he had a lot to do with that. But in general, the fact that we stayed the course is what changed us.
I remember you told those guys, Georgia Tech, after the post game, that this is a different team. Each team has to find their way. Because I think a lot of guys in the media don't understand that it's a different team each year. They just say, oh, you're Georgia State. No, it's each year is a different team, different mix, different circumstances. And you said it's a different team this year. We have to find our way. We're not that we're finding our way. I think a lot of times the media guys don't understand it the way I do because I played sports myself. But talk about how it's a different team every year. You have to kind of find that team has to find their own way. And this year's team took Kane stepping up, and Corey this summer also getting his body together, and you guys found your way when it counted the most.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot. You never have the same team twice. Every team has a one season lifespan, and even if you have the same individuals back, the individuals don't come back with the same goals and the same mindset every year. If you were a starter last year, you want to be first team all league this year. If you were first team all league last year, you want to be player of the year. If you were coming off the bench, you want to be a starter. If you didn't play very much, you want more playing time. So every individual is going to be approaching the year with a different mindset. And so if you get 12, 13 guys on the same team, it's still going to be a different makeup of the team. So in our case, we had 15 scholarship players. So we had the same guys back, but we added to the group. So we had more guys who wanted a piece of the pie. So it was competitive. And then, obviously with us, we had some disruption. You talked about it with the COVID when it hit us after the Georgia Tech game. And that was the second time it hit us. So we had all of those factors. And then we, like you said, we had guys step into those leadership roles, which helped us out quite a bit. So, but yeah, I do think people assume that if you have the same people, you have the same team. And it just simply is not the case. Kansas City Chiefs had a lot of the same guys. Patrick Mahomes is the same guy, but it's a different year. And so you have to have a mentality that you're going to start over as a coach, and then you got to work to convince them that it's a new journey. And that could be a challenge with young people. And we had that challenge with this group. I think, and that was heightened, that challenge, just by the fact that we had some of the disruptions come into play as well. It would have been, if we would have been healthy, no injuries, no COVID, we still would have had our share of challenges. So I feel like we had a convergence of things happening all at one time that, we just needed the fog to lift a little bit. And when it did, we got on the path to finding our way. Everybody keeps telling me we got hot at the right time. Maybe that is true. I don't know if I accept that yet. I still think we got a long way to go, and I'm glad we're still playing.
No doubt. And Coach, what I love about it, like you said, man, finding your way. And for these young men, I'm in my mid-30s. Adversity is hitting my life. So I think these young guys got a test earlier about how adversity, perseverance can get you to your goals anyway, and just overcoming bad situations. Because COVID, we didn't see it coming, but having it happen, let's make you feel better. It's like, hey, we went through COVID, we found ourselves, and I think you guys got confidence going forward because, hey, man, They could have quit, and you and I both know they could have quit, but they didn't. They stuck together as one. Your staffs came to work every day and worked hard. I know your staff, Cliff, and those guys, man, worked their butts off, and your guys stayed with it. And it, those 2 or 3 days in Pensacola, man, it showed its hard work down there, and you are now y'all Sun Belt champions once more.
Yeah, you know what? You just touched on it. You and I talked about this before. Like when your team is going through a tough period, sometimes with coaching staffs, there's an inclination to spend less time around the guys because it can, you get into a rut and it can be so burdensome. And the natural inclination for Chris Kreider and Jarvis Hayes and Cliff Warren and Jordan Glover, our staff, and myself, is to spend more time communicating with our guys during the tough times, because if you spend less time around them during the turbulence, they're going to get their information from somewhere. They're going to get the opinions about how the team should be doing and so it's better if they're getting that information from you. The message needs to be coming from inside the house, because if it's not, they're going to be listening to somebody. Somebody's opinion is going to take precedence over yours. So it's an important time to, we use the phrase circle the wagons. We did that. And my staff does that naturally. I'm fortunate and blessed to have a great staff.
And Coach Lanier, you know this, man. Cliff, Jarvis, and Chris are great communicators. That's one of their big skills. And watching them on the bench and act with your guys, man, it's never like an attack. It's like, I'm trying to love on you, but I'm tough, but I'm saying I'm loving you. Saying I'm trying to give you the knowledge in the best way. Because it's all about delivery, Coach. You know about this delivery. Delivery is how somebody will receive it. If you deliver it hard, they might take it a little hard, and you might have a blow up, But if you give it to them in that right tone and that right delivery, they'll receive it. I think what they do a good job, and you do as well, Coach. You all have a way of delivering things to these young men where they take it and receive it and don't take it negatively, which is good, because some guys want to just curse you out up and down. Nah, you all give it to them in such a way where the guys will take it and accept it, and they'll use it down the road.
Well, you know this. You've been an athlete. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat.
Yes.
That just happens to be the personality of this staff. Not that it's right or we do it the best way or whatever. It is our way. And the one thing I learned from being around some of the great coaches that I've worked around is that the best way to approach it is to do it as yourself. And, I can't coach like anybody else. I can only be myself. And that's what I encourage the guys that I work with to do, is to do it their way. And Cliff's personality is different than Chris's. He's a little bit more fiery, a little bit more passionate, but it's good, because our guys know where it's coming from. So they all have their own personalities, but they do all happen to be good communicators, like you said.
And Coach, let me ask you, brother, last year App State, how much did that come in you all's mind going into last night's game? Because I know it's a new year, new team, but last year's when you all kind of faltered there. But how much did that you feel your guys say, hey, not this year? We're going to close the deal this year for sure.
I thought about it on the bus ride over to the arena. That's the only time I thought about it is, we probably had like a 10-minute drive from the hotel to the arena. And I only thought about it in the context of what I felt like last year on that bus ride. Because I was concerned about whether or not our team was going to approach the game the right way, because we had beat them the last time we played them. We were playing really well. We had won 8 in a row going into that game, talking about last year. And I was worried about whether or not we were mature enough as a team to still play the game. I thought we had a team that wasn't quite mature enough and that they were going to approach the game like it was a movie script. And if App State went off script, we were going to be in trouble. And App State came out through the first punch, and we never quite recovered. On the bus ride over last night, I was confident, at least insofar as I felt like we had the right mindset. I'll put it to you like this. I packed a change of clothes in my backpack because I was expecting some water to get thrown on me when I walked in the locker room.
I hear that, and I know that was right. And you all played a good game last night, and Louisiana made a run in the middle of the second half. They had a chance for that 3, missed it. You all make the 3, go on your run. And I said to myself, they're going to win because they locked in. Like, even though they took they won that punch, Louisiana, and your guys stayed the course and kept on going. And I said, yep, State got it. And seeing that live and in person, seeing your guys take that punch and stay the course, it had to make you feel good as a coach. And your young men had actually that. It saw them actually grow in that moment right there and say, hey, my guys are growing and they show me something right now.
Yeah, we use the word mettle, METTLE, and we put it on the board the night of the semifinal game with the dictionary definition of the word. And we felt like over the last 2 years, all the experiences that we've had should build some mettle in us. And there's opportunities in games to display that. And that scenario that you just described where they missed the open 3 that would have tied it. We came down and hit a 3 and got a little separation and maintained it. And then we kept some distance, but we fought through the adversity of the run that they were making. And when we came to the timeout, you sit in those timeouts, JR, and you look in their eyes, and you can see different things at different times during the course of a season. And I saw nothing but confidence and focus. And, confidence is a two-way street. Sometimes you give it to them, sometimes they give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to give it to them, but in a lot of ways, they were the ones giving me the confidence. So it was a good night.
And Coach, I don't hide it. I'm very much partial to you. I don't hide it. It's going to be impartial, but when it comes to you, I'm not impartial. So I tell you, I openly cheer for you. I don't hide it at all. Everybody knows I openly cheer for you. It's not even a secret. So it's like, I'm like, last time I was like, look, I am cheering for Coach Lanier. That's my guy, been my guy. State has to win representation in Atlanta, man. And, it makes me feel good because I feel like State is Atlanta school. No disrespect to Josh and Georgia Tech. State is more of Atlanta school. It's just people, anybody in Atlanta can afford to go to State. It's like for everybody. Tech, you can see be a little smarter kind of a cat. But Atlanta State is Atlanta school. So how it make you feel for the ATL? You came here took this job, man, and now you punched this ticket for Georgia State once more. State's always been in those tournaments, man. When Hunter was here, but now you doing it now, Coach Lanier, and now your staff, man, it gotta make you feel really good, and your family has to feel really good as well. Making the decision to come to Atlanta, I'm glad you did come from leaving Tennessee. Come on down here, man.
Yeah, no, I feel like we found a home, and I felt like that before last night. But this is special, man. When you see all that emotion on the court, those guys. I've been watching that video over and over today. The Sunbelt made a nice little highlight video of the little celebration on the court after the game. When you have a vision for your program and a philosophy and an approach that you want to take, and you're trying to get your staff and your players to buy into it and believe in it, and you work hard to bring a group of people together, and it comes together and culminates in a night like last night. Not only is it a celebration of an accomplishment, but for me, I also look at it as a springboard to greater success, because it creates now a frame of reference and a standard for why we do what we do, why we practice the way we do, why we work the way we do, why we have the standards that we have, so that the young people who return to the program they come back with a totally different mindset about this whole journey and process. And you can now develop leaders inside of your program because you've painted a vision for them of what it feels like and when it looks like. And the great thing about it, celebration last night, is they got to want to experience that again and again and again. They got to want more, because I want more, And so I think it's a great opportunity for us to grow the program.
Most definitely. And new arena coming next year. Communication center coming down and then Turner Field at Summer Hill area, man. And how was that coming along, Coach? Have you seen any? Have you been over to see it? How excited are you to get in there next year, man? Once everything gets painted over there and everything's get ready to go rock and roll over there, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be having some recruits come in soon. Once the season is over. I haven't been over there since December, so and I was excited about what I was seeing then. And I know that since December they've made some changes. So I can't wait to see what the progress looks like.
Coach Lanier, thank you for your time tonight, man. You're my guy, man. Like I said, I'll be cheering. Where you back, I'm cheering for you, brother. You know that. I am very much partial to Coach Lanier, people. I don't deny it. I'm very much partial to Coach Lanier. So, Coach, thank you for your time, brother. Hope to see you Sunday at the party before I go to the Hawks game, man. And I know you have a media availability on Friday. Hopefully, I'll come back and catch you over there as well, man. But I don't see you before the tournament, man, Coach. Best of luck to you. I'm cheering for you, brother. You already know that I got you right here in my heart, brother.
Oh, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Anytime, Coach. Be safe, man.
Thanks.
All right.